Okay, so just a quick video on what I do with yard waste. This is a little experiment to see how this would turn out. So I have a old soup can here. It's been sitting outside getting weathered and rusty, but I have a nice lid for this, and I'll cover it. But as I sit it inside the fire, what I've done is I've turned this material. There's one hand here, which would be considered waste, into biochar. Ooh, the can has got a hole in it. He's got to get a new one. So, in the region that I live in the south, southern United States, we have lots of trees, and if anybody knows what this one is, this is a very common tree, the seed pod of the magnolia. And they fall on the ground and they are everywhere. And if you look, they kind of have little pokey little areas, and these are very woody. And if you find those with your foot, they don't feel good. We also have the infamous sweet gum seed pod. Very pokey. If you find that with your foot, you'll know all about it. But I also have a tulip poplar, I believe, and it drops these very beautiful seed pods that are they're densely packed leaves, and I find that they're kind of annoying. They're easy to chop up and you can compost them, but the tree drops them all over the yard. And then everyone knows this guy, a little acorn, and so it's, they're everywhere. But in addition to that, in this burn, I also included some things that most families would have if you eat meat. This is a rib bone, or rib bone out of a pig. And you can see the bone marrow glistening there. And so what I wanted to do, there's another piece of bone, the cap there. What I wanted to do was to show that these materials are considered waste, and in most scenarios they can easily be composted, but in small batches, if converted to biochar, they can last for essentially thousands of years in the garden, being a host place for microbes. You can see that shimmery sheen off on the material there. That's how you know it has truly been carbonized. And so I want to do like a little side-by-side comparison to show what happens when you know something has been converted to biochar. It has the right crunch. Now let me grab a container. Okay, here we go. First one. Normally you wouldn't be able to do this with a sweet gum pod, but with minimum force and effort, and take this, and I can just squeeze it between my fingers, and you can see crushes up into a nice fine material. With the flowers from the tulip poplar, same thing, but this is a little bit softer, and it grinds up right into a beautiful tilthy mix. Let's grab the magnolia pod. These are everywhere, and so I have a annual supply of soil building material. I do compost them. When you hit them with the mower, because they go flying. It's about the size of a pine cone. I do have some pine trees nearby too that I'm going to do some experiments on. But yeah, same deal. You just take it and give it a good crunch, and it doesn't even look the same anymore. It crushes down mighty fine. And this material will house billions of bacteria. And those bacteria will survive in this soil for eons of time. Here we go. The bone char, as I like to call it. Bone already has lots of macronutrients and minerals inside of it. So you imagine converting it to biochar. It will last a lot longer inside in the soil. So, and you can already tell that it has those micro pore spaces. If you can, the camera can focus on that. Those little, each and every crevice to the millionth power is a place for a microbe to exist. And so by crumbling that material, I now have this soft, crumbly medium to which I can now inoculate with good bacteria and add to my soil. That little acorn there just crunches right up. Acorns, they sit on the ground, they sprout, then you wind up having to cut them off, at the soil level. And now I just have a ready supply of material. Here's this is an oxtail bone. I had an oxtail dinner a couple weeks ago, and I saved the bone, and so let me convert that to some biochar. It looks like a whale bone. So cool. See if I can crush it with my hand. I'm trying to teach my kids this so that they know how to increase the fertility of the land. Everywhere you go, you can make small batches of biochar. Oh, a little piece of it didn't go. See, but that's okay, because this has nutrients in it as bone meal as it breaks down. So this is fun for me. This is what I do. I feed the earth. I feed the microbes. I take care of the planet by the power of fire. It's really alchemy, being able to manage a hot fire and to convert organic, which would otherwise be waste. This is nuisance material that damages equipment, dulls your blades, it hurts your feet when you step on it, and then you can convert it into something useful. So the game for me is to have my kids go out and collect these and put them inside of a big container, and then we have a bonfire and make s'mores while I make biochar, and I use that material to go back inside my compost system. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks for watching.